It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Hurts throwing right away. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Dotson in motion right. Hurts sets up to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
A first down carry for Barkley. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now a 2nd and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Hurts. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run with Barkley. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message, hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let them know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory, be aggressive. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, 26 yards. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Off the play fake, Nix. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, here's Nix. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
The Broncos send out their punter now. Back deep, Avery Williams. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Hit and drop behind the line by Dre Greenlaw.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's 3rd and 6. Throwing is Hurts. Escapes the sack, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing Nix. That is incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now it's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll go play action with Nix. Rolling to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Nix to the air. That ball caught by his rookie wideout. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Second and 7. Working out of the gun is Nix. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Dobbins will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They'll run it again with Barkley. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
7-7, our score after 1. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Denver offense at the line ready to go. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally we've seen success occur.
2nd down and 3. Here comes Dobbins on the toss right. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's Nix. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Nix. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the 46, here's the 2nd and 4. He'll drop to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They go play action with Hurts. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's taken down inside the 30. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now does he get to the 1st down marker? He blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
From the gun, it's Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert, 29 yards. And the Eagles have taken the lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Nix. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 26. That one goes for 24 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Looking to throw. Nix. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, he finds Vele. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
A give. Dobbins trying the right side. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 45-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Here's Hurts to throw. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
No one left in the backfield as they send a man left. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. That is caught by Vele. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Here's 2nd and 3. To throw, here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Vele. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Nix from the shotgun. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Like it's been this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
2nd and 10. Throwing Nix. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Cortland Sutton in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. And the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. That one downfield for Dotson. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here now a 3rd down and 8. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. In need of only about the length of the foot. They'll set up to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. And that's off the mark, incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley. He'll get this down to the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. He's got Smith here. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 19. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
In motion, the tight end. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So the Broncos coming out now. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Jordan Davis, just a monster on that play, stopping it from going anywhere.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Nix. That's taken in left side by Vele. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Eagles. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
58 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on second down. Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And Goddard going to have an Eagles first down as he'll take this down to the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Good enough to extend the drive.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hit 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. This pass hauled in by Dotson. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Looking to throw. That is caught, and some room to maneuver. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 18. Great way to convert on third down there, 21 yards the play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Broncos about set to go on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Now it's Nix. And this one complete again to Mims. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his 1st catch. Big reason they're losing right now. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Nix to the air. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
A fake on the jet sweep and a give to Dobbins. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Here's Nix. Throw left side complete to Troutman. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
One more time with Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Bo Nix taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Hurts to throw. And his pass incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
Hurts. Being chased out left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Now that's a killer, because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a 1st down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a 4 sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, 43 yards. And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. So that drive there, CD, a good response, and that might be the one that gets them to the finish line, a comfortable lead.
Yeah, and that's all about not letting the team back into a game because they just gave up a touchdown. It was back to a 2-score game, and anything can happen in that situation. But instead, they came through with a really terrific drive right there that ended in 6. So you like to slam the door on teams. In this case, they're trying to lock it as well.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A short throw to Ingram. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This 2nd and 4. Working out of the gun is Nix. He targets Ingram for another grab. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A short throw to Ingram, and he is out of bounds inside the 30.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Nick's looking to throw again. Touchdown, Broncos. Evan Ingram from 6 yards away. And the Broncos are able to cut into that deficit.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing is Hurts. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
To throw, here's Nix. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Throwing Nix. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Back to the air with Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line. 12 yards on 3rd down as the drive rolls on.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Nix from the shotgun. He's got his target. That's complete. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Back to throw again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. To throw is Nix. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
Now this likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. They're going. It's Nix. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Keely Ringo picks it off. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So they go for it on 4th and goal, hoping to get 6, and it's 6 the other way.
If hindsight is 20/20, they would have gone ahead and kicked the field goal, but by being aggressive, it actually cost them. Gave up 6 points going the other way.
Elliott good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Denver's offense now set to go. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so